Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
This society needs a spectacle. It might help us to see some evil. This society needs a spectacle.
On A View from the Outside this week being the 24th of August 2024, we look at mercy, M-E-R-C-Y, mercy, and we do so looking at how mercy is dispensed in the highest arena in St Vincent and the Grenadines. The Britannica Dictionary defines mercy as kindness or help given to people who are in a very bad or desperate situation. And the Collins Dictionary states that mercy is an act of kindness, compassion, or favor. Also, the Black's Law Dictionary states that mercy is compassionate treatment as of criminal offenders or those in distress. Those definitions tell us that mercy is to show kindness to people. Mercy is to help others. Mercy is to grant a favor to another. Mercy is to show compassion to someone, especially someone who is in a bad, desperate, or distressed situation. It is in light of those definitions that we, here on A View from the Outside, have chosen to cover this topic, taking into account the recent developments in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where the Prime Minister is reported to have said that he personally extended an act of mercy to Vybz Kartel, whose real name is Adidja Azim Palmer, to get medical treatment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In a situation where context matters, it is necessary to point out that Vybz Kartel is a popular Jamaican artist. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment to serve a minimum of 35 years, which was reduced later to 32.5 years. After exhausting his appeals in Jamaica, he, Vybz Kartel, appealed to the Privy Council, which is the highest appellate court of Jamaica. His defense team argued that one of the jurors who was accused of trying to bribe other jurors should not have been allowed to continue on the jury and should have been thrown off the trial. The Privy Council agreed with his defense team and ruled that his conviction was unsafe, and they returned the case to the courts of Jamaica to decide whether he was to be retried. Subsequently, the Court of Appeal in Jamaica decided that he was not going to be retried, and effectively he was acquitted. In handing down the judgment, Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, one of the 3 judges in the Court of Appeal in Jamaica, said that because of the passage of time, the lack of access to witnesses and evidence, the huge expense of a retrial, and his declining health, the interests of justice do not require a new trial. Vybz Kartel was therefore released from jail after spending approximately 13 years. Following his release from prison, Vincentians learned that Vybz Kartel had flown on a private jet and was in St Vincent and the Grenadines. It was subsequently revealed by the Prime Minister of St Vincent and the Grenadines that Vybz Kartel was there in the country to receive treatment for a rare disease from which he suffers, a disease called Graves' disease. The Prime Minister is reported to have said that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a specialist team, including Cubans, which can treat the disease, and that he personally extended an act of mercy to Vybz Kartel to be treated in the country. We, on A View from the Outside, wish to state here that this program is not about the inadequate healthcare in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This program is about the mercy which the Prime Minister is reported to have said that he personally extended to Vybz Kartel. We wish to point out also that we are not saying that mercy ought not to have been extended by him to Vybz Kartel. What many are saying, and we join them in saying so, is that his act of mercy seems a convenient one. It seems convenient, especially when many in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are in dire need of his personal act of mercy, but he denies them that act of mercy. Many are asking, where was the Prime Minister's personal act of mercy for the now deceased Randolph Toussaint, the former Commissioner of Police? One would remember that the late Mr. Toussaint won his case at the same Privy Council where Vybz Kartel went and won. But the Prime Minister and his government refused to compensate Mr. Toussaint for his land, which the Privy Council ruled was wrongly, compulsorily acquired from him. Where was the Prime Minister's personal act of mercy for his former comrade, Otto Sam, when, as the court ruled, his government sacked Otto Sam illegally, and Otto Sam had to wait years to receive any compensation from them? It is still questionable whether Otto Sam has been fully compensated after all these years. Where was the Prime Minister's act of mercy for Kenroy Johnson, Addison Bash Thomas, and Elvis Daniel, now deceased? Those are the three teachers whom the Prime Minister's government defied a clause in the collective agreement with the teachers' union and refused to employ them. In fact, he is reported to have said that he will not lift a finger to assist them in getting back their jobs. It is said that Elvis Daniel died without having received his compensation, which the court ordered. Where was the Prime Minister's act of mercy, or where is the Prime Minister's personal act of mercy for Bigger Biggs, whom his government and their aiders and abettors destroyed his multi-million-dollar business and left it in ruins, and to date refused to show compassion and compensate Bigger Biggs? Where is his personal act of mercy for Bigger Biggs? Where is his personal act of mercy for Marcus de Freitas, whose property his government seized for over 2 decades now, and whom his government refused to compensate despite a court order for them to do so? Why was that personal act of mercy not extended to young 3-year-old Raiden Davis of Richland Park, whose parents painfully watched him die at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital? Where is the Prime Minister's act of mercy for Adriana King, who many believe is persecuted by his government? Why is there no personal act of mercy from him to her to ensure that she's fully compensated after she has languished and suffered financially for years at the hands of his government? Where is his personal act of mercy for Simone Murray, Dr. Wayne Murray, and their family, who lost a large amount of their lands to his government? In fact, their lands were seized from them. And to date, they have not been adequately compensated. Where is the Prime Minister's act of mercy for the hundreds of teachers, police officers, customs officers, nurses, doctors, and other public servants who are currently suffering financially because his government fired them from their job because they exercised their constitutional rights and refused to take the COVID-19 vaccine? Where is his personal act of mercy for those same workers who won their case in the High Court in St Vincent and the Grenadines, and his government chose to appeal and not compensate them? Do they not deserve his personal act of mercy? We can go on and list many more instances and individuals where the Prime Minister's personal act of mercy has not been forthcoming. In fact, where his personal act of mercy has been actively withheld. However, time is against us. And so we leave you to call him out on those acts because you know them. We encourage you to remind him that mercy must not be selective or convenient. Until next week, this is Brereton Horne with a view from the outside, with a reminder to send your feedback as usual to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. You can also get us on Facebook and on YouTube at A View from the Outside. Have a pleasant Saturday, have a wonderful Sunday, and have a productive week ahead, demanding mercy for all Vincentians.